The king vulture is a clownish-looking bird with a serious mission. In most of its extensive tropical range, this species is the largest scavenging bird. The king's smaller, more plentiful relations, including black and turkey vultures, depend upon this heavy-billed bird to tear into larger carcasses first. King vultures don't have any sub-species today, but they might have had a couple in the past. As some of the largest, brightest scavengers in Mexico, Central and South America, king vultures occupy a unique niche in the animal kingdom. Let's take a look at this colorful king vulture facts so that you can learn more about these freaky, fantastic creatures for yourself. You'll learn about their habits, young and mating, feeding, and even their colorful car uncles. There are two theories about the king, part of the king vulture's name. The fanciful one is that it comes from ancient Mayan legends where vultures were royal messengers between humans and gods. The more practical explanation is that it comes from the king vulture's tendency to displace other vultures from feeding sites. It's a fearless animal, and it won't hesitate to snap at smaller birds until they back off from a kill. The bodies of king vultures look like regular birds. They have predominantly white bodies with black-tipped feathers scattered across their wings and tails, and their claws are long, sharp and gray. King vultures explode into color from the neck up. Their skin comes in various shades of red, purple, yellow, orange, pink and blue. They also have bright red rings around their eyes and warty orange caruncles dotting their faces. King vultures aren't particularly loud. They can be vocal when they want to be, but since they lack voice boxes, their volume is limited. King vultures usually live in small family units that consist of a mated pair and their young. King vultures aren't migratory birds, so they stay in the same territory all year long. King vultures are completely bald. It has a defense mechanism against infection. They're scavengers who feed on the dead flesh of other animals, so they go rooting through carcasses a lot, and any hairs or feathers on their heads would quickly become mottled with blood. Interestingly, this means that their rainbow coloring is directly on their skin. King vultures are some of the largest New World vultures. They're usually around 2 to 3 feet tall. King vultures typically weigh around 6 to 10 pounds. The wingspan of the king vulture is a whopping 4 to 7 feet. This is twice the size of their bodies. They have sharp beaks, quick reflexes and absolutely no qualms about establishing their dominance. Specimens in captivity usually live between 30 to 40 years, but their lifespan in the wild is probably much lower. They have large, powerful wings that provide deep and rhythmic propulsion. Truthfully, however, they don't even need the strength of their wings. They're fully capable of soaring for hours without flapping. King vultures aren't bothered by a lot of predators. They might be killed by the occasional jaguar that surprises them at a carcass, but generally speaking, their only real threat is when other animals come after their eggs. Snakes are a particular danger. They can slither into their nests and swallow their unhatched eggs whole. As scavengers, king vultures tend to eat anything that's been left behind by other animals. They'll pick through the carcasses of birds, monkeys, cougars, foxes, sloths, lizards and wild turkeys. King vultures have keen eyes that are able to spot carrion from hundreds of feet above the ground. They don't have teeth, but their beaks are so sharp that they're used in the same way. They often make the first cut on animal carcasses by tearing through it with their beaks. Once they've taken a mate, king vultures stay in monogamous pairs for the rest of their lives. King vultures become independent when they're around 4 to 5 years old. They'll leave mom and dad and strike out on their own, and depending on their success in finding a mate, they'll lay an egg either that year or the following year. It's large and white, and both the male and female take turns incubating it. It takes 53 to 58 days to hatch. Once the baby is born, it will develop quickly. It'll be wiggling around the nest by the second day, and by the third, it'll be able to preen and peck. Like many birds, king vultures live in trees, but they can be picky about the surrounding environment of those trees. They like wet, humid places such as swamps and tropical rainforests. They're occasionally found in grasslands and savannas, but this is probably due to habitat loss rather than any instinctive drive to live there. King vultures don't make a true nest. They don't gather sticks and twigs like other birds. The single biggest threat to king vultures is habitat loss. There are many reasons for this. Humans are mining, logging, damming, trawling and cutting down trees for commercial purposes. Wildfires are destroying large portions of the native forest. Climate change is impacting environments until they're unlivable. Habitat loss is particularly painful for king vultures since they're scavengers that rely on other animals for food. Thank you very much for watching, and to get more updates on Wild World, please subscribe my channel and hit bell icon.